Live.
Namaste and a very good morning to one and all present here. I am K. Ashwati and it's my privilege to be the host and anchor for today's session on the 7th edition of My Bharat campaign, a national youth campaign in building patriotism organized by Disha Bharat as a part of 80th Independence Day celebration. On behalf of Disha Bharat, I extend a warm welcome to all our respected speakers, mentors, volunteers, and viewers who have joined us today from different parts of the country. Let us begin this beautiful morning by invoking the blessings of the Almighty through a sacred sloga. Please do chant this mantra along with me by closing your eyes. Om Asato ma Satkamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirkamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. Before we begin today's program, let us take a moment to know about the organization behind it. Disha Bharat is a non-profit organization which was founded in the year 2005 with the objective of sowing the seeds of values in the youth. Disha Bharat conducts holistic personality development programs that complements the academic curriculum and the core values. All our programs revolve around three themes: know yourself, know your culture, know your country. Through various educational leadership initiatives, it has empowered young minds to contribute meaningfully to the society and the nation. My Bharat National Youth Campaign, a national-wide initiative of the Disha Bharat dedicated to awakening patriotism, nurturing responsible citizenship to become active contributors of our country. It serves as a platform where students from across India come together to exchange different ideas, share knowledgeable and inspiring thoughts to one another through meaningful discussions. One such initiative under the My Bharat campaign is the student activity session, where students from diverse backgrounds share historical insights and thought provoking perspectives. Without any further delay, it's my pleasure to invite our first speaker, Mr. Samarth Ankalkoti, a BCom student from KL East Jagadguru Gangadhar College of Commerce, Hubballi. He'll be sharing his thoughts of the inspiring freedom fighter Kittur Rani Chennamma. Samarth, the virtual stage is yours.
Yes, thank you, Ashwati, for allowing me. So, a very good morning to everyone who is viewing this program. I am Samarth Ankalkoti from KLE's Jagadguru Gangadhara College of Commerce, Hubli. And today, I am going to be speaking about a valorous freedom fighter from Karnataka. She is also known as the daughter of Karnataka, and her bravery has been inspiring many women, not only in just Karnataka or throughout India. So, the freedom fighter that I am going to be speaking about today is none other than the valorous, the great, the courageous Kitturu Rani Chennamma. So, Rani Chennamma was born on 14th of November in the year 1778 in the Kakati village of Belagavi district of the present day Karnataka. Her father was Dhulappa Desai and mother was Padmavati. Rani Chennamma had learnt a lot of skills during her childhood, which was not common in those days for girls. So the skills that she had learnt was archery, horse riding, guerrilla warfare, and lot of other skills. These skills had helped her to become a very, very prominent leader and a warrior in the future days. She had also practiced a lot of languages. She was also a scholar in many languages, some of which are Sanskrit, Urdu, Marathi, and Kannada. Not just that, Rani Channamma was a very compassionate person throughout her lifetime who believed that people came first before her or even before her princely relatives. At the age of 15, she was married to Mallasarja Desai, who was the then ruler of Kitturu princely state, and the couple was blessed with a boy named Shivalinga Rudrasarja. Now, talking about Kitturu, Kitturu was not a large state like that of the Maratha kingdom or the Mysuru province. It was a very small state where the main occupation was farming, trading, etc. Rani Chennamma, Mallasarja Desai, and their son Shivalinga Rudrasarja were the princely family that were ruling the state. When this state was being ruled by them, the farmers over there, or be it the traders or any other people of any profession, they were really kind and really respectful towards the princely family. They saw Rani Chennamma not as a queen, but as a mother who cared deeply and compassionately for their welfare. But Rani Chennamma was also the same kind of person who was very compassionate about her kingdom. She believed that the strength of the kingdom not only lies in the army of that kingdom, but also it lies in the people that reside in it. She encouraged agriculture, trading between many neighboring regions, which helped the state of Kitturu gain more prosperity in the future. Rani Chennamma was respected by the citizens of Kitturu princely state. Why? Because she ensured that fair justice and fair amount of dignity was delivered to each and every citizen of the princely state of Kitturu. This was the detailed explanation of the princely state of Kitturu. But unfortunately, among this prosperous life, Rani Chennamma had met with a tragedy, and that was that in the year 1816, her husband Mallasarja Desai tragically passed away. And now, while she was recovering from this trauma, even her son Shivalinga Rudrasarja had passed away in the year 1824 due to deteriorating health. But Shivalinga Rudrasarja had made a smart move. He got to know that he was not feeling well and he might die soon, and that which might leave the state of Kitturu without a further ascender who would ascend the throne in the future. So that is why he adopted a boy named Shivalingappa. Now, this Shivalingappa was adopted by Shivalinga Rudrasarja, and he was declared as the heir of the throne in the future in case Shivlinga Rudrasarja dies. Now, since Shivlinga Rudrasarja passed away in the year 1824, Rani Channamma took the responsibility of the young boy. And because the boy was very young to the throne, she took the main responsibility of leading her kingdom. And she had already declared Shivlingappa as the main heir of the throne. But this is where the British Empire had interfered. Now, the British was completely enraged by this decision that Shivalinga Rudrasarja did not have a biological son and he had adopted a boy. And that is why they sent a letter to Rani Chennamma stating that Shivalingappa is an adopted child and not a biological one of Shivalinga Rudrasarja, and hence he shall be dethroned and the whole kingdom of Kitturu would be handed over to the British Empire. Now, this might seem a bit familiar because this was will be further recognized as the doctrine of lapse, which was implemented by Lord Dalhousie in the future date. And according to this doctrine of lapse, if a state which is ruled by a king and that king dies without a biological child, the whole state will be occupied by the British Empire. Now, coming in terms of Kitturu and British Empire, Rani Channamma thought that this decision was completely unfair and she sought many ways of trying to resolve the matter between Kitturu and Rani Channamma, not just Rani Channamma, between Kitturu and the princely British Empire. She sent a letter in 1823 to Mount Stuart Elphinstone, who was the Lieutenant Governor of the Bombay province. But this letter was rejected. The collectorate at that time in the Dharwad provision was Saint John Thackeray, and he also ordered that Kitturu must be merged with the British Empire. Due to all of this, you know, the retaliation had been sparked inside Rani Chennamma. She resisted the British rule over Kitturu because she believed that Kitturu might be harmed and the people of Kitturu might be harmed under the British Empire because she knew what the Britishers were capable of and what the Britishers were doing to the other princely state that they captured. Hence, after the rejection of the letter, Rani Channamma became furious and a war broke out in October in the year 1824. And at that time, that was the exact moment that the legacy of Rani Channamma began as a freedom fighter. So, in the first round of war, the Britishers lost heavily. Let me inform you, the army of Kitturu was almost 5 times smaller than the army of the British Empire. The British Empire consisted of around 20,700 plus men. And even though consisting such a huge battalion and a huge army, the Britishers lost heavily, and this was such a disrespect to the British Empire. They were so ashamed. And Rani Channamma's bravery and courage spread across the region of Kitturu, and people had been worshipping her as a mother, and now they started worshipping her as a brave and courageous savior. She had also imprisoned two hostages, namely Walter Elliot and Mr. Stevenson. She had kept them as hostages of war. She had imprisoned them with the intention that the war might end in the future date. And she later also released them with the same intention that the British would stop waging war if she released both of them. But after the release, the British waged a war again, and this time they had better weapons, more men, more strategies, and a very, very, very burning desire of revenge from Chennamma. Now, at this point of time, Chennamma had lost heavily during this round of war, and she was imprisoned permanently and kept at the Bailhongal fort. But even after being imprisoned, she did not hesitate to go against the Britishers. She did not accept that she was imprisoned under the Britishers, and you know she refused to give her dignity to a foreigner. Now, despite of being imprisoned, her Lieutenant General Veera Sangoli Rayana continued the guerrilla warfare till 1829, but it was also in vain. The only intention of Veera Sangoli Rayana to continue the guerrilla warfare was to defeat the Britishers and bring back Shivalingappa as the heir to the throne. But it was in vain because he was also later captured and hanged in the year 1829. And along with that, as a coincidence, Rani Channamma was also facing very severe health issues, and due to this deteriorating health, she also passed away at the Bailhongal fort on February 21, 1829. Friends, when we speak about any freedom fighter or any warrior, we not just see the courage that they show on the battlefield, but we also see what they've contributed towards the society. Such was the bravery of Rani Channamma. She not just fought wars, but she also cared about the people of Kitturu who were completely dependent on her. The main qualities that Rani Channamma had was courage, determination, compassion, and many other qualities, which made her a great leader, but furthermore, which made her a great human being. Her statues stand tall in most of the cities. Even in my city, Hubballi, there is a circle named after her, Chennamma circle, with a gracious statue of her holding a sword in her hand and mounted on a horseback. Even in Delhi, there is a statue. Even in Bangalore, there is a statue of her. A statue does not just represent her bravery, but also it represents her legacy that she left behind for the future generation. She inspired a lot of women during that time to join the freedom struggle, and she was the main reason that Karnataka fought bravely against the Britishers. And you know, many women were also a part of the freedom struggle only because of Rani Chennamma. Kitturu Utsav is celebrated every year in October in honor of her. There is also a movie named after her, Rani Chennamma, which was released in the year 1961. This was the legacy and the impact that the brave queen had left, along with her tales of bravery. To conclude with my speech, I would like to say that warriors are not just recognized for their valor, but they are also recognized for their legacy. And that was the legacy of Rani Chennamma that she had left behind, that she inspired women to join the freedom struggle. Along with that, she had also inspired a generational talents. Like most of the people seek her as an idol and lead their life, especially women. So that was the impact that she had left. And with that, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you, everyone. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. Your speech has beautifully highlighted the courage, legacy, and the determination and patriotism of Kittur Rani Chennamma. We truly appreciate your valuable insights. Now, it's time to welcome our second speaker, Ms. Gayatri, a BCom student from Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shazan Jain College for Women, Chennai. Gayatri has participated in several oratorical competitions and debates and has made several achievements as a student. She'll be delivering a speech on the great freedom fighter, V.O. Chidambaram Pillai. So, Gayatri, over to you.
What is freedom? This is a very relative term. If you ask a student, he or she would say freedom is with reference to his or her homework. If you ask a homemaker, he or she would say freedom is with reference to the household chores. For an earning person, freedom is being free from his or her boss or workplace. Freedom doesn't mean the same thing for different people. However, prior to 1947, if a person says he or she needs freedom, it meant only one thing: being free from the colonial rule by the British Empire. Namaste everyone, I'm Gayatri P representing Sri Shankarlal Sundabai Shasan Jain College. I'm going to talk about a great freedom fighter of our country, a pride for Tamil Nadu, V.O. Chidambaram, a man, a leader who ignited the freedom fire in the minds of millions of people, who perhaps brought back the pride of sailing in the sea by ships, who perhaps encouraged people to consume products made in India by the Indians. In that way, he is a pioneer for the Make in India movement. I will share V.O. Chidambaram's life briefly and also talk about how it impacts all our life. Early life. V.O. Chidambaram Pillai was born in Ottapidaram, Tirunelveli district to Ulaganathan Pillai and Paramai Ammal on September 5, 1872. From childhood, he excelled in academics, traditional martial arts, physical training, shaping his disciplined character. Chidambaram Pillai worked as a taluk officer for some time before his father sent him to Tiruchirappalli district to study law. He passed his leadership exam in 1894, returning to Ottapidaram to become a pleader in 1895. Political life. V.O. Chidambaram Pillai was deeply influenced by Balagangadhar Tilak and his nationalist ideology. In Madras, Chidambaram Pillai met Swami Ramakrishnananda, who advised V.O. Chidambaram to serve our nation. Following the partition of Bengal in 1905, Chidambaram joined the politics, joining the Indian National Congress. He was supported by Subramaniam Shiva and Subramaniam Bharati. In response to the British Indian Steam Navigation Company and its trade monopoly, Chidambaram Pillai started Indian-owned shipping company. He registered the Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company in October 1906. V.O. Chidambaram Pillai travelled across Tamil Nadu to raise funds. It is widely believed that he declared he would return only after securing funds for the ships. He managed to secure sufficient funds to purchase the company's first ship, the SS Galilea. Shortly afterwards, was able to acquire the SS Lavo from the France. To win the competition, the British company started offering free trips to the passenger with a free umbrella. However, nationalist sentiment meant that free services was underused. The British Steam Navigation Company attempted to buy out Chidambaram's and refused to stop this. But Chidambaram Pillai refused the deal. The ships commenced regular services from Tuticorin and Colombo, which is Sri Lanka, against opposition from British traders and imperial government. Coral Mill Strike. On 23rd February 1908, Chidambaram Pillai gave a speech at Thoothukudi encouraging the workers at Coral Mill to protest against their low wages and harsh working conditions. 4 days later, the workers of the Coral Mill went on a strike led by Subramaniam Shiva and Chidambaram himself. Their demands included incremental earnings, weekly holidays, and other leave facilities. Due to the great efforts of V.O. Chidambaram Nar, the management agreed to meet the employees' demands. The outcome of the strike encouraged the workers of other European companies, who also gained an increased wage and better treatment. Sir Aurobindo appreciated Chidambaram and Shiva for their unequaled skill and courage with which the fight was conducted in his Vande Mataram Daily on 13th March 1908. Arrest and imprisonment. By 1908, Chidambaram's political involvement drew the attention of the British. Hearing of his intention to speak at a rally celebrating the release of Bengali leader Bipin Chandra Pal, Winch, a British official, invited Chidambaram to meet him in Tirunelveli with his political comrade Subramaniam Shiva. At the meeting, Winch expressed concern about Chidambaram's activity and asked him to stop and give assurance that he would not participate at any political revolt. Chidambaram refused to attempt and accept his conditions. So, he and Shiva were arrested on 12th March 1908. The arrest was followed by widespread protest in Tirunelveli district. In Tirunelveli, shops, colleges, schools were closed in protest and rioting broke out everywhere. The Tirunelveli Municipal Office, Post Office, police stations, and municipal courts were attacked. A general strike was declared in Thoothukudi, one of the earliest organized political strikes in India. Public meetings and processions were held, and 4 people were killed by the police. V.O. Chidambaranar was charged with sedition, and a sentence of 2 life imprisonments, 40 years, was imposed. He was confined in Central Prison, Coimbatore, from 9 July 1908 to 1st December 1910. The judgment was widely condemned in the popular press, with even the British Statesman magazine claiming that it was unjust. Chidambaram Pillai appealed the sentence in High Court, gaining a reduced punishment of 4-year imprisonment and 6 years in exile. An appeal to the Privy Council led to further reduction in sentence. Chidambaranar was not treated as a political prisoner. He was treated as a convict sentenced to life imprisonment and required to do hard labor, which caused his health to suffer. Chidambarana was yoked in place of bulls to the oil press like an animal and made to work it in the cruel hot sun. From prison, Chidambarana continued correspondence, maintaining a steady stream of legal petitions. He was finally released on 12th December 1912. To his dismay, the Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company had already been liquidated in 1911, and the ships were auctioned to their competitors. The company's first ship, the SS Galilea, was sold to the British Shipping Company. Literary contributions and intellectual work. While V.O. Chidambaram is widely known for his political and commercial initiatives, his literary work forms an equally important part of his career. Throughout his life, including during his imprisonment, he maintained a consistent routine of writing, translating, and commentary. Translation works. V.O. Chidambaram translated several works of the English self-help author James Allen into Tamil, focusing on personal ethics, mental discipline, and character building. These works included MyBHARAT. His goal was to make moral philosophy accessible to Tamil readers. Commentaries on classical Tamil literature. V.O. Chidambaram was a scholar of classical Tamil literature. He wrote a detailed commentary on Tirukkural, particularly analyzing its sections on ethics and governance. He also published a refined commentary on the ancient Tamil grammatical text Tulkapiyam. Autobiography in verse. While in prison, V.O. Chidambaram wrote his autobiography using traditional Tamil metrics, Venba. This work provides a structured first-hand account of his early life, political career, prison experience without relying on any sensationalism. Publishing and editing. V.O. Chidambaram actively edited and republished rare classic Tamil manuscripts and ensured their preservation for the future and upcoming generations. His literary output demonstrates that his commitment to national development included cultural preservation and educational reform alongside political activism. Later life and economic struggles. V.O. Chidambaram was released from prison on 12 December 1912. Upon his release, he faced severe financial and professional setbacks. During his imprisonment, the Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company encountered an insurmountable amount of financial difficulties and was liquidated in 1911. Its primary vessel, the SS Galilea, was sold to the British Indian Steam Navigation Company. Additionally, V.O. Chidambaram's license to practice as a lawyer was revoked by the British authorities under the Legal Practitioners Act, leaving him without his primary source of income. Restricted from returning to Tirunelveli immediately, VOC relocated to Chennai with his family, settling in Perambur. To support his family, he ran a provision store and a kerosene store. During his time in Chennai, V.O. Chidambaram remained active in organized labor. In 1912, he worked alongside V. Kalyanasundaram Mudaliyar Tiruvika in founding the Madras Labour Union, one of the India's earliest formal trade unions. In 1927, after repeated legal petitions, High Court Judge E. H. Wallace restored V.O. Chidambaram's legal practice license. Following this restoration, V.O. Chidambaram moved to Kovilpatti and resumed practicing law. He rejoined the Indian National Congress in 1927, attending the Madras session. VOC spent his final years in Tuticorin, continuing his scholarly writing and legal practice until his death on November 18, 1936, at the age of 64. What should we carry from V.O. Chidambaram's life? As young Indians, let us remember the legacy of our Kappalotiya Tamilan and strive to make our nation stronger through integrity, enterprise, and fearless determination. V.O. Chidambaram taught us three fundamental lessons that are more relevant today than ever before. Economic self-reliance. V.O. Chidambaram showed us that true independence is built on local industries, indigenous technology, and economic sovereignty. Every time we innovate, create, and support homegrown enterprises, they honor his legacy. Moral courage. V.O. Chidambaram faced double life sentences, physical torture, financial ruin. Yet, he never backed down from what was right. He showed us that integrity is non negotiable. Inclusive leadership. V.O. Chidambaram fought for intellectuals, mill workers, sailors, and daily wage laborers. He believed that a nation raises only when its vulnerable citizens are empowered. I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to talk about V.O. Chidambaram. Jai Hind.
Thank you for your excellent presentation, Gayatri. Your speech reminded us the immense sacrifice and the unwavering spirit of Vivo Chidambaram Pillai. So, before we conclude, here is a small reminder about today's evening lecture series. The topic is Independent India Understanding Democracy and the Constitution, and the session will be delivered by Mr. Sir Kashyap N. Nayak. We warmly invite everyone to be a part of this evening lecture. We also look forward to meeting you all in tomorrow's student activity session. The topic include Veer Savarkar and Adhyatma, the civilizational soul of Bharat. We encourage everyone to join us once again for another inspiring and insightful session. As we come to end of today's program, I would take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Disha Bharat and the My Bharat campaign team for organizing this wonderful session. My sincere thanks to all our speakers for the informative and inspiring presentations. I thank all the coordinators and volunteers for the dedicated efforts and to every participant who has joined today. Your presence and enthusiasm has made this session truly meaningful. I would also like to extend my warm gratitude to my college and my department who has provided me an opportunity to become a part of Disha Bharat. And thank you all, wishing you all a wonderful day ahead. Let us conclude this session again with a sacred sloga. So please do close your eyes and chant this mantra along with me. Om Asato ma satkamaya tamaso ma jyotirkamaya mrityo ma mritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti